Now, I want to make the correction from the last video. In my last video, I stated that Jack Kelly, it sounded like I said Jack Kelly doesn't make the argument, but what I meant was he does make the argument that metal and would have corroded long ago, therefore it'd be hard to find evidence of any wood and metal in Atlantis and reshot in 9600 BC. And, to be fair, he was being very generous to black advancement, but staying within the bounds of academia, of what's been found so far. So I just want to make that clarification. But what I would like to do is I would like to go back and examine some of these things again, because they remind me of jetties that I find in my home city. Some of these canals in Mauretania, these ancient canals in the desert, remind me an awful lot of jetties that we see today. And I'm also going to look at some modern day canal building in Cairo or Egypt from Google Earth to compare. You see the channel here. You see channels in this is the city where I live. You see these channels of water, and so these could have been boat channels from one inland sea to another, or one inland. Because remember, this thing is like pockmarked, or this thing is like cheddar cheese with water and inlets and channels running all over the place in 9000 in the Green Sahara. It's way different. This place that is now desert is honeycombed with water everywhere. And so these things, clearly you can see the piling up of the rocks on each side of the jetty is very reminiscent of a modern boat channel for navigation going in and out of a bay. So, but here it's like connecting one body to another, one body of water to another. And so they could have been for boats. And this brings up another subject about maritime, which Jack Kelly does, he does make the argument that maritime travel did exist in 9600 BC and even far earlier from Greece to across the Mediterranean, that was possible back then. And this raises the question again of black Indians. There has been this talk on the internet of black Indians. Now some people are coming from the point of view that they think that the original people of America were black, but if there were black Indians before Columbus, because the official narrative is that slaves ran away to join the Indians, and that certainly is true. But if there were Native American, if black people sailed, if mariners sailed from ancient Atlantis to America because they had great maritime capability back then, they would have traded with Siberian Americans or Asian Americans, Native Americans, indigenous people. They would have traded with them, and there would have been a network between the two, and it wouldn't necessarily have been predatory either. Could have been completely peaceful, but if West African people came over to America in 9600 BC and onward up to ancient Egypt, between Atlantis and ancient Egypt, from a maritime traffic civilization in Mauretania and the Sahel, between 9600 and 3500, when the Sahara dried up. If such maritime ability existed, and West Africans were coming over here back then, and then later on in the modern day, West Africans escaped from plantations and joined Native Americans, how would you be able to tell the difference if you looked at a DNA marker? The DNA markers would say Senegalese or Ghanaian, or they would say Malian. They would point to specific places in West Africa, but how would you know that it's ancient and it's modern? It would be like distinguishing signal from noise, right? You would not be able to tell the difference because it's the same area. Maybe there were certain ancient markers, and you could differentiate in time, but it's something to consider. Kind of lends credence. It kind of lends a little bit more credence to the black Indian idea.